Two college radio DJs during the 90s, hosts Keith and Steve helped expose bands like Nirvana, Pavement, and PJ Harvey. They went to shows, interviewed musicians, and reviewed albums for various designs and papers. They worked security at concerts and once even did load-in for Fish. Now, they're dads. Whether you want to explore lesser-known music or take a trip down memory lane, tune into the new Dad Rock. Join hosts Keith and Steve as they navigate the ages together, sharing their love of music across various eras and genres. Always well-intentioned, often well-informed, seldom boring, the new Dad Rock will expand your mind.
Hello and welcome once again to the new Dad Rock.
Dude, so my sister's husband, he's in the Cure cover band.
That would be your brother-in-law.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my brother-in-law was in the Cure cover band, and they were awesome.
He's currently in the cover band, or was?
No, it's more like, well, the same band doesn't exist, but like the way he is I imagine he's always in a Cure cover band, kind of like permanent karaoke, like not in a bad way, in a pure blissful way.
He's kind of like The Shining. He's always been in the hotel.
Totally, dude.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. But the Cure is sick, so it's really impressive. I don't remember my sister being into the Cure so much. Anyway.
The Cure, ironically, is somehow still... I feel like the Cure is underrated somehow. Despite all the accolades they get, despite the stadiums that they sell out, I still think they're underrated.
Wow. I get what you're saying. To be fair, I think that's why I think R.E.M. is also overrated.
I would concur with that view, but let's agree to table that to another episode of the new Dad Rock.
No, it's not even an episode. I don't want to talk about that at all. And I want to say that Depeche Mode is accurately appreciated, but The Cure is not. And I get that.
I agree. And you know, so when did you start listening to The Cure, and like how did you start, like when did you become aware of The Cure? Because
oh my god,
they started in the they started when we were like still single digits.
Okay, so what happened was for me is I started liking girls for real, and they were in a new wave, and The Cure and the Depeche Mode and Erasure were the biggest new wave bands, and like. The Cure is fucking awesome. Like, so a lot of the Cure thing is, what do you think is their best album? Right? And like, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me is when I think I learned of them. Head on the Door is an amazing album. Pornography is terrific. But then like Fascination Street or whatever that album is called.
Disintegration.
Yeah, whatever.
Disintegration.
Sick. So like, I just named 4 albums in a row, I think. Maybe 5, and I missed one, but like we're sick. Like,
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt for a second. It was kind of funny. There's a mosquito in my garage that's the size of a bird. It's not a bird this week. It's a mosquito, and it's that big.
This is the end of the new Dad Rock. It's one of the Dads to Rock episode. Steve was killed by a large mosquito. It's a bad scene. Poor Steve died, and we will. Oh, shut up. You're dead. Anyway, he's no longer with us, and we'll miss him forever.
I took a picture of my killer.
What? Who is this?
And it will be posted on our Twitter account later. Or probably prior because of the time to market. So I when I first heard of The Cure, also was through female acquaintances of the time, and you know, definitely girls that wore dark eye makeup and dyed their hair black and smoked clove cigarettes.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, it makes sense. We got along.
Yeah, and back then I was like strictly metal. Like that was when during Thrash's heyday.
I don't get that.
All metal all the time, and I secretly liked The Cure, and what was the other one? Violent Femmes.
My god!
I secretly liked both of them, but I didn't want to let it out.
I have the best modern Violent Femmes song. Seriously, this winter, yeah, dude. So we were driving to Tahoe, and once a year during my kids' winter break, me and my wife go with the 2 boys, 7 and 10 this year, to Tahoe to ski. But we're about like approaching Donner Pass, and I put on the Violent Femmes' first album. And me, Chrissy, and Denise, the first 5 songs were like singing every lyric, and the boys were terrified. It was amazing. It was seriously it was a peak moment, dude. It was a peak fucking moment. And thank you for listening to that fairly long story. It's good.
Femmes.
Dude, no, that one album is like literally the best 5 songs in a row. Possibly 6 if you go with Gone Daddy Gone, My Love Is Gone Away. I love that shit. All right.
But I found that a lot of the bands that I like have a really strong bassist.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I mean, like, obviously if your drummer sucks, your guitar sucks, it's a fail. But, like, all good bands have everything, right? And bass, I don't know, I think bass can control it. Because it's like a drum, and it's a guitar. So, like, yeah, I mean, Rush, what was Geddy?
Geddy Lee was the singer and the bassist.
Bassist, yeah, Jesus.
And Steve Harris from Iron Maiden is the bassist, but he almost plays like a lead guitar. And Roger Waters was the bassist, and Primus, Les Claypool. These are amongst my favorite bands, and it's because they have a strong bassist.
Yeah, and you didn't even name the best bassist ever.
Who's that? Jocko?
Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, seriously, he wrote half the songs too. Like, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's so long-lived. Yeah, I like this bassist idea. I mean, fair,
it's a position you could totally overlook, right? Like, and maybe that's like...
It's the easiest to fake. Not fake, but it's the easiest, like the Sex Pistols, to do the simple thing. It's easiest to copy the top note, or the bottom note, I guess, of the guitarist. So you just repeat the chords. He's playing a G, a CF, you're playing a G, CF. But, like, bassists aren't playing the song anymore. Like, I mean, they're not playing the guitar part. I think, like, Flea, like, as much as Red Hot Chili Peppers just had an album come out, and Dave Fucciamachi's back on it. You know, I listened to it a couple times, read a couple things about. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I can't say names. And you know, it's good. It's good. It sounds like them, but, like, it's hard to recreate Magic. But, like, Flea's good. But Flea's always going to sound a certain way. Like, Roger Waters sounds a certain way.
And I think maybe the band has the sound, but the bass kind of can be apart from that band. So, I mean, for me, I loved Metallica when they first came out. I loved, you know, Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets, I think, are amongst the two.
That was the other bassist, right?
Well, that was Cliff Burton. And Cliff Burton was kind of the leader. He kind of was the older guy that Lars and James looked up to. He was the cool guy in the band. And maybe that's what it is. The bassist gives the band that extra thing. You know, you have the singer, you have the drummer, you have the guitarist, you have the songs, but the bass is that missing ingredient. And crazily enough, Slayer, like Tom Araya, who's the singer, he also plays bass, but he has like a Latin Chilean kind of basis to his sound. So he's playing like almost salsa music. He's playing Latin American, you know, melodies on in the midst of Slayer, in the midst of that chaos, the cacophony, Yeah,
exactly. You know, the thing about the basses is it's the easiest thing to put into the band, but it's also the hardest thing to be the best at.
We got the beat.
Yeah. Well, and the way you can run the game. I don't know. I'm blanking on all the cool bassists. I mean, a lot of the bassists you mentioned before were the ones who actually were the singers or ran the band, right? And there's a bunch more of those. Morphine is another example. And but you think about the subtlety of some of the bassists. I mean, like Roger Waters. I guess he sang some of the songs, but like,
yeah, Steve Harris doesn't sing. He
doesn't at all. And he's had like 6 singers. How many singers has he had?
I mean, truly 3, but others before they was even recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Yeah, you know, I mean,
Motorhead and Lemmy. We talked about.
Well, obviously,
Motorhead not that long ago. Yeah.
And once you have Paul McCartney in that group, I'm thinking Led Zeppelin now. I mean,
yeah. Well, John Paul Jones again. He was the one that I feel like he was apart from the band. They part of the reason they didn't get back together after John Bonham died, I think, was they didn't really get along with John Paul Jones. So it's my theory that the bassist is a part of the band. And
no, I think
maybe that's why I
good.
prefer Iron Maiden to Judas Priest. You know, Judas Priest never had that strong bassist.
Yeah, for sure.
Megadeth doesn't have. I mean, Dave Ellefson to an extent, but it's not. And that might be why Metallica with Cliff Burton had the one up, not Megadeth.
No, I like the hypothesis you're suggesting, which is that the better bands of any genre have the better bassist. And the bassist is the one more correlated to the success of the band than any other instrument or position. And I'm willing to believe that, actually. I mean, just from... It's like
really John Cazale. Like, John Cazale, the actor, he was only in 5 movies, but all 5 of them were nominated for Best Picture.
I'm sorry, who and what movie?
John Cazale. He was in Deer Hunter. He was Fredo in the Godfather movies.
Wow.
Why
did he stop making movies after 5 amazing movies?
Oh, he died.
Oh, okay. How did he die?
Some sort of cancer, I believe.
That sucks.
Yeah. So, way to bring the new dad rock down. Keeping it low, baby. Keeping it low, just like all the bassists.
I'm pretty sure you can edit this, man.
No, I don't want to edit this out. I don't want to edit anymore.
I know. Can we outsource editing?
I just want the new dad rock to be free, uncensored. You can hear all of our talking points.
Oh, you want us to just play it live like a radio show?
Like a podcast.
Podcasts aren't live.
Wait, so back to The Cure.
Right.
So Robert Smith, The Cure, which is really Robert Smith, was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this past year. I watched it. It was great. Was it Trent Reznor that gave the speech? And
that's just awesome. Yeah.
You know, you just forget that he started out with, a regular looking guy. You can go look at the old thing. For the first couple of years, he just looked like this regular English dude from, a regular new wave guy. And, 79, 80, I mean, Boys Don't Cry, 10:15 on a Saturday night. That singles collection, Staring at the Sea, or it was, the tape had a different name and it had a different track list, I remember. Do you remember that? Staring at
the Sea? What are you talking about?
Standing on the beach.
Oh, the sea. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was
wait. Oh, go ahead.
Tape. I think the tape had a different name. We can edit this out.
Standing on the beach by the sea. I think that's right. No, you did good.
Standing on the beach with a gun in my hand.
Yeah, it's killing you there.
Robert Smith is inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it was just... He has such a reputation being this dour guy, and he's really not. I mean, he certainly plays it up a bit, and there's a certain noirish note to their sound, and the dark clothes and the dark makeup and everything. But he's a really sweet guy. Like, Love Song was the wedding present to his wife. Like, imagine writing a all-time classic song as that, and be like, oh, that's your present. I
love that album, dude. No, yeah. I'm going to actually hang out with you and listen to that now. That's how good it is.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. For all you listeners, we understand. Yeah, and then Disintegration, that whole era.
It was a great cover. They did it really good. To me. Are you listening, or is this over? Have we jumped the shark? Are we talking about The Cure?
Yeah, Robert Smith, and he at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he was just very sweet. He had this smile on his face. He had this look of pride in his eyes, and it was just very sweet, and it was not at all like the typical stereotype that you have of Robert Smith. I mean, he does those things on South Park. He totally jokes. He has a sense of humor. I don't know why suddenly I'm such a big Robert Smith fan.
People take things very seriously. You believe in the artist for a period of time, but not the whole time. Like, yeah. Artists have, ideally, decades of experience and decades of giving us art. And it changes over time because they've learned things, they've experienced new things, and they just do new things.
So we haven't really added a lot on The Cure to the common knowledge, other than a bit of hagiography.
That's it, and call it a night. Thank you so much. This is terrific.